We're 302 days in to Trump's presidency, and which means it's day 322 of the year. That's the Skull and Bones number. It's also the docket number. I say docket number, it's the number for the House that's doing the bit on part of the Epstein files. Haven't seen too much of that out yet. I guess that maybe that's something they'll suppress a little bit, or it will start to come around over the coming days, but we'll see. 302 in numbers is 185 Donald John Trump plus Fifth Avenue. That's the street of Trump Tower, and Fifth Avenue is 117 manifesting. So we'll see what comes. Edward, hello. Are we getting suppressed again? See, this is the weird thing. We've got one in the... Okay, now it's changed. Okay. 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 All right, here we go. Good. So people are coming in now. From Daytona Beach. Cool. Daytona. The Sonny Hayes race. Hey, Jennifer. Hit the hype button and subscribe and like if you would. That would be great. Hey, Lynn. Nice to see you. November 5th on Julian calendar. I think that's today, isn't it, on the Julian calendar? 18th. 5 plus 13, 18. Here we are. Hey, Brandy. So, I've said that there's more signs of the storm. So I went and watched Eclipse, which is the third film in the Twilight series. And I'm enjoying the Twilight series, actually. I think there's a reason they're showing it or re-showing them. So it's like, they're like new films to me. I don't know. I think I saw maybe one or two back in the day, but I can't really remember too much about them. So they're like a new set of films for me to enjoy and decode. So they do talk about the storm in the eclipse. They say there's a storm. The storm's coming, which is a subtle but direct reference. So it's interesting when, either if you're watching films on TV or at home, or at home, or at the cinema, and when they show, there you go. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, Twilight's great. And then when they're showing films, old films back in the movies in the cinemas, it's interesting that things like the storm pop up. They come up. So it's it's on point. It's interesting. The other thing I noticed as well is where let me get this right. So where I think it's Bella's house. I think it's where her dad Charlie lives. They live in number 184. I think it's their house. I don't think it's not. No, it's not the fancy house. Where Edward and his family live. It's got to be. It would be Bella's house. That's 184. 184, I've said before, is the fifth dimension. 184 is also, though, in regards to this, because it's dealing with vampires. Vampire is reversal. Vampire is 184 as well, because vampire is 84. Arizona 84. Sunday 84. 40 million. They're both 84. And then there's a part where she's the love triangle with Edward, Jacob, and her, and she's trying to separate them, and she's saying, "I'm neutral, I'm Switzerland." So Switzerland's 151, which is Jesus Christ, which is drained the swamp, and it's also fifth dimension. So if you do, so they live in 184, the fifth dimension. And then she's saying she's Switzerland. Switzerland is fifth dimension, 151. So it was interesting. So I saw that. So they always seem to have these in the films. It's like, I know what the numbers are. And then they do a double, sometimes a triple reference on it. So that was interesting. We've got 110 in the chat, 33 thumbs up. That's 143. That's Paul Bushnell, my cousin. The Tesseract. Now it's gone to 34. Franklin Templeton is the XRP ETF today. There's some others coming up in the next few days, next week or so. So we'll see what comes. But it looks like everything's kind of been heavily kind of, manipulated, basically controlled at some level. So they're letting things play out. And then it feels like there'll be a point where all of that flips and changes. But it doesn't, maybe that's another thing. They're showing that markets are controlled, they're manipulated, which we know they are. But there is in the background a good system coming in. Yeah, astronomically. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. They make sense because it's SJFK's anniversary. That'll be 62 years ago. 62 is the word shot. The shot heard around the world. I mean, wouldn't that be, if we see something then, that would make sense because it's JFK 62 years ago. The shot heard around the world. I mean, that was the shot heard around the world. But then an echo, a comeback perhaps on his terms would be amazing. That would be fantastic. That would echo and wake up the world for sure. The 62 is also Queen. It's also dollar as well, so that's an interesting one. Dollars plural is 81. Tiffany Tower, Zimbabwe. But dollar singular 62 shot. The shot heard around the world. The dollar heard around the world. There you go. So we'll see what comes on this weekend. But I haven't looked at the astronomy stuff, but if that's the case, that would make sense. That would make sense. There's a lot of things pointing to that. Yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow. Hey, David. Who else was in? Louise. Stubbsy. Hello, Stubbsy. Cheryl. Janine from northern New Jersey. Hello. 152 in the chat is a Black Swan event. 46. JFK was age 46, wasn't he? In 1963. And his name is John. John is 47. We just got 47 thumbs up. And then 159 in the chat. 159 is a week to remember. Indiana. Stevie. There we go. So let's see what comes in, folks. It does look to me like they're suppressing, obviously. Well, I say obviously, but it's always going on. There's different things that get suppressed. One thing that was hitting earlier today was there were problems with Twitter. I saw that. So you'd log on and then you couldn't see certain tweets with videos, or they'd play without any imagery. And then I heard in some of the chats, they were saying there was problems with it. Seems to have rectified itself, but there was something going on. As there's always something going on. 172 is hyperinflation. 51 is just Sarah. Batman. Great. QQQ. I was going to say the calm before the storm, maybe the cold before the storm. Today I went in the sea. I hadn't been in for maybe a week or so. It's been quite choppy and cold, but I went in quite late today. But that was cold, but it felt quite refreshing. But it was tingly. Like, it was so cold, it was tingly. 175 is consciousness. 54 is love. Love consciousness. There you go. Bonds, 54. Orbs, 54. Scalar, 54. I got my scalar on me in my pocket. Links are below if you want to get it. 178 emergency broadcast. But yeah, that was good to go in, but it was fresh. It was very cold. you know what? It was weird. It was cold, but it was tingly. It was. I mean, I felt those temperatures before, but it felt kind of tingly, strange. But it was nice. It was refreshing. But it was a strange feeling. It was a strange feeling. We had patches of sun today, not as bright as yesterday. I was tempted to go out on the cliffs again, but I didn't get the chance to. I didn't take the chance to. The weather wasn't quite as good as it was yesterday. But maybe later in the week it might come back. Oh, there's a black cat with white feet. Black cats. A black cat's lucky. Someone's talking about Golden Gate Bridge. You saw somewhere today Skull and Bones 322. What did you see? Tell us. Yeah, that's the number they use. That's the number that they adopted, that they took. 322. That's the number that represents the Skull and Bones. 186. So that's Tyler Robinson 186, which is the Charlie Kirk thing's kind of, it's not as pressing as it was maybe a couple of months ago, obviously, when it happened. But that hasn't finished. So I wonder, it's interesting, 186 just came out, so I'm wondering what we'll see. Maybe something in the next day or two on that, something in the next few days. 322 was Iraqi dinar before devalued. Okay. There's lots of balls in play, folks, isn't there? As always. And then things pop up when I guess they're supposed to. And we'll find out, the greater meaning of them all. 199 in the chat. That's my grandfather, Sydney Charles Wood. Hey, Pops. And then 61 is Miracle. It's now at 63. $204, drop the 0. Takes you to X. 24. So we're you know what would be nice once all this is all said and done? It'd be nice when we don't have to wait for things anymore. That would be great. We don't have to wait for things or have permission from other entities. We'll just be able to manifest in a deliberate, beautiful way without any time delay. I'm quite looking forward to that, I must admit. I must admit, it'd be wonderful when the NPCs dissolve, when they go. And you know what? Let them do their roaming. If they want to kind of do their hangout thing, they can. We just don't want to be in the same vicinity, really, Hey, Stephanie. I know we can't wait, can we? We can't wait. And it'll be nice, just no more delays or waits or all that stuff, because most of life, we're in our mind, we're thinking we're doing things, but also it seems like there's a lot of waiting, isn't there? Waiting for permission from other entities that pretend to have some kind of authority over us, which I'm going to say it, if you are thinking it, which is fucking annoying. We'll be glad when it's gone. How are we going to... You know what? We don't mind. We've been feeding off of breadcrumbs. We'll just look forward to the baguette now. Yeah. We'll look forward to the baguette. We'll look forward to the feast. It's coming. The thing is, we can't complain. It's coming. We know that, and life is continually getting better, and we're ascending. But it will be wonderful. It will be wonderful. Speaking for myself, and I'll speak on behalf of the group, the community, that it will be wonderful when we don't have to wait for things, because it seems like just a lot of wasted time waiting for things. The delay, which seems intrinsically tied to this reality. And that's beginning in certain fissures of reality. It's beginning to break. That's beginning to go. But we'll be so happy. I will be so happy. And I think I can speak for most of you. You'll be happy when that delay is gone. That would be great. I said it before, when there's a system, if you create this reality, which is pretty marvelous when you strip it all back, there's no need for the delay, It's so annoying, isn't it? There isn't a need for it. If you can create this, then why not just create it in a perfect way? I don't fully understand why the delay and why the decay that's built into the system exists, but nevertheless, we're in it. We've been in it all our lives that we can remember. but that's coming to an end, and it can't come soon enough. There doesn't need to be any delay. There doesn't need to be any decay. There doesn't need to be any death. There doesn't need to be any stagnation. There doesn't need to be any of these things anymore. They don't, we've had enough of it. It's like, okay, thanks, no thanks. Don't let the door hit you on the arse on the way out. We're done with it, So 217 is Mission Impossible. It has been a Mission Impossible, but it's working its way towards the finish line. 76 is a magic wand. Thomas, 76. Tom Sidney Bushnell's 217, so that's nice. We've got two double numbers there for me there. I just took a screenshot of it. 77 is Christ, power, hertz, as in frequency. 77, 79, the dove, super wonder. It does, Joni, but you know what? You get Johnsy. We've all gone through that. I'm now at the point where I used to kind of be concerned about the sort of feelings of loneliness with it when people were quite isolated with it. That's why we've had the tools to connect, from great distances. But now I'm more than ever, I'm at the point where I don't really worry about what others think. I've never really been too worried about what others think, but I really, in terms of like ones I feel like I have a connection with or a relationship, if they're not on board now, whether it's family, friends, associate, whatever, even people in the movement, I'm almost kind of okay with whatever, really, which is kind of a nice point to get to. And I think as we go on this journey, we all eventually get to that. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but I guess it does if people just, for whatever reason, aren't up to speed and they're not on it, they're not on it. So, hey, angels, yeah, nice one. Hey, from Ireland. But Tonsi, yeah, so I say that to you. So you'll get there, and I'm sure you're coping okay with it. But you kind of, in my experience, from my journey, you reach a point where it's like, okay, all right, c'est la vie, whatever may be will be, and we're okay with whatever, I saw that. Can you expand upon that? What do you mean by that? The one about Epstein and the family tree. I saw what you said, but I haven't looked at that up, and I don't know what you mean exactly. Can you expound upon that a bit more? What it is? Just a bit more detail. I see what you're basically saying, but just to add a bit more context to it, because it seems, I don't know, strange. But maybe, who knows? So we had 239 in the chat. That is 1963. As in JFK. It's also reverse infiltration, and that's what started to happen. Probably before, but definitely from that point, that mark in the sand with JFK, the reverse infiltration started to happen. And we've got 88 thumbs up. Well, we did have 88, which is obviously Trump. Now we've got 89, which is hologram, which is virus. 90 is boomerang, economy. 237 is a very big number, important number. And that will become clearer in time. Hit the hype button if you would, folks. Someone did a calculation a week or so ago saying if we get to a certain number, we get into the top 10, which will be cool. Or top 100 YouTube channels, apparently. So that would be cool. That would be great. Hey, Jeff. Howdy. $91 thumbs up is Space Force, Future, Liberty, the Father. POTUS. Father, or the Father, is POTUS, 91. Now we're 94 thumbs up, which is Ace of Spades, November. Third Eye. Third Eye Atlas has still got to unravel. Hey, Mariano. Good to see you, buddy. Like I said in that film, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, Jesse Eisenberg, his character is Atlas. He says, hi, I'm Atlas. I was like, what? We've got this thing in the sky, Atlas apparently heading towards Earth, and we've got a guy called Atlas, and then he does a redistribution with some high level trickery, but in a white hat way, because it takes it from the bad and gives it back to the people. But his name's Atlas, so maybe that's, you know, something's coming, folks. Something's coming, and we're all going to be amazed and surprised and delighted when it arrives. And they're giving us a foreteller. Maybe what happens as well with the films is they give us options. They give us things that can come to pass, and then maybe it goes over to another possibility. But then somehow it seems like all these things get brought back round. But when you get a number of multiples hitting at the same target, at the same destination, at the same timeline thread, then it feels like things are about to go down that route. So, and then when you get the personal Easter eggs, i.e. Bushnell Avenue and Back to the Future, that's pretty cool. That's nice. So we're on target. We know something's brewing, something's about to pop, and we keep going, you know. So that's how it works. That's how it works, folks. Okay. Hey Bradshaw, don't let the door hit you on the arse on the way out, mate. Take it easy. Bye. You're out. We got a troll. It's amazing. We still get trolls in the chat. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here, BC. Glad you're here. Yeah, don't worry about Bradshaw. He's gone. That was that was just an arse. So he's gone. We have a zero tolerance policy for that in the chat. So there you go. But it's amazing. That's the other thing. Hey Sherry, that's the thing as well. So the AI is clever. It is clever, but it will come to a point where it will totally yield to our will. That's inevitable. That's the promise of the higher dimensions. But it's clever. I mean, they can create things in an instant. They can scan your channel. They can put up silly comments. They can get other real people to start to direct the narrative. And that happened a little bit yesterday. And that's why I was quite firm with some people and trolls on the chat. Hey, Melissa. Good to see you. Hey, Sherry. Keep going. I think you get 3 hypes a week. So maybe it'll refresh in a couple of days for you, but I appreciate you hypes, so thank you. Hey Cheryl. But that's, yeah, the thing is, when people, you guys, the viewers, some of the things you don't know fully the background of what it's like with running the YouTube. So I'm expressing I'm giving you a bit of an insight. So you get trolls, you get all sorts, and then they even profess to be real people. But when you look at them, I can tell when, for the most part, when one's a troll or an AI, or even just bad intention. If you're a real person with bad intentions, and I can pick up on the vibe and how you speak, then you're out as well. So just to let you know. But also, they try and do it to sway the real viewers. That's what they do. So yeah, that's what happens, and we're pretty experienced at it. You know, been doing this for nearly 6 years now. So it's funny how they yelp out and say, oh, I'm this and that. It's like, yeah, okay, bye. 249 in the chat, which is Tom Numbers Psych Club, which is Trump's it's the Trump's 17. Hey Christopher, what part of Arizona? Hey Brandy, yeah, they do, and they will. They will drop instantly when Bitcoin goes. The trolls will go, because it's all, yeah, you know. Unless someone's actually like doing it daily as a truther, putting the stuff out, people can't fully understand what goes on, and it's a great privilege to do it. And the thing is, anyone can. there's no barrier to entry. I guess if the barrier to entry would actually, do you have something to say and do you have an ability, to do it? But there's plenty of fakers out there that attempt it and then they drop off. But in terms of actually kind of realizing what you have to do to get it going and keep going, then yeah, my point is I know what it's like on this side of the fence. So I know what it takes to do the shows. 261, there you go. Well, that's November 22nd. And then 119's Redemption. 265, October 26th, and then 120 is The Truth. So, it's a little bit like if someone is I don't know, you're highly skilled in your profession, and then you get someone that's a novice, and they say something, and instantly they don't know what they're talking about. Eventually, you just have to deal with it, or ignore it, or just cut it out. Because if you addressed every single one, that's all you'd ever do. So anyone with a certain level of expertise in something knows instantly, within a nanosecond, when someone opens their mouth, if they know what they're talking about or not, in that regard. But, it is what it is. And I'll react accordingly. Hey, Mike. Michelle, nice to see you from Canada. Brilliant. Hey, Patsy. Oh, bless you. How are you? The rain's coming down. Can you hear it? The rain's coming down. So it's late. And that's the other thing. When we go into the new world, it'd be nice when we can choose our own weather. That would be really cool. So I was going to say, you're Starfire, Patty. Hey, Patty, I thought so. I recognised your picture. Can you hear it? Can you hear the rain? There you go. You can hear the rain. There it is. There's the rain. We're as sure as we can be. Things keep popping up and popping along, but November 22nd looks like a really important date for a number of reasons, as we've been discussing. Hey, Truth's coming. I appreciate your $20 super chat. Thank you. God bless you. Where are you from? Yeah, X was out today. It was playing up. So we got 272 in the chat right now, which is temporal pincer movement. And then we've got 131, which is John F. Kennedy. And we've got now 132 on the thumbs up, which is the Prestige, Princess Diana. JFK Jr. is alive. There you go. Truth is coming, Melissa. It is. It is coming. I mean, it's been coming in packets, hasn't it? It's been coming in waves. We've been able to pick up on it. And there will come that point where the world unifies. The truth will come out and the world will unify. And we were ready for it yesterday. But it will come when it comes. But it's looking very probable that something's coming, I would suspect, very soon, with all the things that are lining up, all the dates, all the things out there publicly that people know about, whether they decide to look at them or not, and then all the synchronicities and numbers and downloads that we're getting. It's the gap is narrowing, and a pressure is building, and then when, as with anything, when you reach a certain pressure, it pops through. And that's what will happen. And us good ones will go through the other side, and the others don't know where they'll go. Whatever will happen to them. So Sinkholes, yeah, there's I think there'll be thousands of them around the Earth at some point soon, because they're everywhere. And the F1, there's still a possibility of that if they do that, or something close to it. But the F1 race keeps popping up. It keeps popping up. They've done it, they've done it in this new film. So all the stuff that was in the F1 film, The Life of Chuck. I mean, I did say about the sinkholes, and then a massive one appeared publicly 10 days later. But I think that was a acknowledgement of what I've been saying, and I think it's a forerunner of what's to come. I think there'll be loads, because that's what's under the ground. That's how you discover it. How do you show what's under the ground? You show it, and then what is under the ground, and that's what will reunite the world. So. Anyway, folks, have a wonderful evening. I was chatting with the people from the Shungite today. So Shungite Orgonite, Quantum Physics 206. I guess as high as you want to go. But links for Shungite, if you want to get yours, you can. They're doing lots of deals right now because of the Black Friday that's coming up. So there's lots of deals on your Shungite Orgonite. And I have this throughout the house. I put it in the fridge, keeps my vegetables and fruits fresh. I put my water jug on there. And I have it in the car as well. Helps with the EMF when I've got the Bluetooth on. So anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow, folks. Much love. God bless you. Take care. Let's see what happens between now and then. We could maybe be in a totally different reality, or we might be slightly more of what we've been having, but with some other pieces to the bow. So see you tomorrow.